So this is the baharat, and I'm just going to do a close-up for 1 sec so people can really see it here. So baharat you can think of as a pumpkin spice, but savory. It's a savory pumpkin spice. And so it has all those great anti-inflammatory spices. It's cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, cloves, allspice, and also some black pepper and some coriander, maybe a little bit of cumin, and then it gives it a savory undertones to it, but you still get those sweet notes of the cinnamon and the cardamom and the cloves, little citrusy. So it makes perfect sense that you would use that with a butternut squash. You can use it with chicken. You can use it with fish. You know, it's like an all-purpose blend. And baharat is actually Arabic for spices. It's the Arabic word for spices in the plural. And so I know you guys can't smell it, but it smells so good, guys, right out there. Just putting it out there, right? There you go. It just has those warm notes. And often in the United States, we do not have go-to blends the way other cultures do. So like India, you have curries and masalas. In the Arab world, the region, like from Turkey all the way to Iraq and the whole region in between, they have baharat. It may not be the exact same ingredients and measurements, but it has those foundational ingredients of the cinnamon, the ginger, the cloves, the cardamom, some coriander, some black pepper, some things to make it savory. If you go further into like North Africa, you might end in Yemen, and they have something called hawaiish, which is similar to this also. And it's really following the spice trail of, you know, the spice industry from the 1500s, right? In the Middle Ages, when they were making their ways all around that area. And so everybody took their own variation of it. Another one is called Ras al Hanout, which is this here.
How do you spell that?
R-A-S, new word, E-L, new word, H-A-N-O-U-T. So it's Arabic. It means head of the store. Ras is head, Hanout is store. And it's considered the crown jewel spice of Moroccan cooking. So you go to Morocco, you go into the spice market, and everybody has their own special version of Ras al Hanout. It is, I would say, a more complex version of the baharat. It usually has anywhere between 20 to 100 ingredients. It often has floral notes like rosebuds or lavender, and it is more complex in its flavors. And again, it's a go-to blend for everything, for vegetarian stews, for fish, for meat, for chicken. And like you noticed, I'm sure the butternut squash with the baharat suddenly felt really hearty. It's not just a simple dish, right? And it comes from using those warm spices, just elevates it and gives it that little extra something, and suddenly it's a wonderful hearty dish. I don't know if you made it into a stew or if you just baked it.
I have to admit, it was mostly on like things that I've been baking, like veggies, sweet potato, butternut squash. But I will next time put it on my salmon and chicken, you know, expand a little bit.
What I was going towards is you could take your butternut squash stew, put it in a pot, add some garbanzo beans, add some diced tomatoes to it, a little garlic, and let that cook, maybe a little tomato paste and water, and add the baharat to it. And it is going to be a really hearty dish that you could serve over rice, over couscous, over quinoa. And suddenly you've got these very simple ingredients, but by adding spice combinations, it feels more than just butternut squash, right? And garbanzo beans.
Yeah, it tastes, right. It tastes like you put so much time into it, right? And I'll admit, if I see a recipe that has like more than 7 ingredients, I'm like, yeah, no, Or you have to buy 10 different spices, or you just don't know what flavors to put together. It's like it's so easy to grab this and just sprinkle it on and it's done.
Are there spices that you find in your dietitian, nutrition world that are particularly good for your gut? Because I'm curious what I have here and how we stack up.
Oh, gosh. I'm more, there's fennel. Like, I think fennel is really big. Of course, garlic. Oregano is antimicrobial, killing out our harmful microbes.
Yeah.
So I find a lot of Italian seasonings, especially oregano.
So oregano,
is a big
basil,
one.
Thyme, rosemary. Those are all good for an Italian herb. And I have some of those here. I've got some, here, I'll zoom in here and kind of show you. So I've got some rosemary.
So some are anti-inflammatory, some are antimicrobial, and more research is showing that the more spices you cook with, the more you're helping out your microbiome to really stay in balance. Some of these, like I said, antimicrobial, inflammatory, they provide good nutrients for some of our bacteria. And they taste better. So it's like a win-win-win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know if you've ever heard of nigella seeds. Here, I'll show you this one. These are little black seeds that look like sesame seeds, but they're darker in color and they're kind of triangle shaped, and they're often known as the black cumin seed. And they're really heart healthy, great for lowering cholesterol. Those are things you could just like sprinkle on a salad or your avocado toast in the morning, things like that, which are really good too. I did bring some food. If you want to see some food that I brought, or I don't know if you have other questions for me, fire away.
I'd love to jump right in the food. We can always go back and forth and see where it takes us.
Yeah, for sure. So this is cauliflower. It's a whole cauliflower. Let me see if I zoom in and get it a good shot.
That has been a more popular item on the menu eating out, I've noticed. Like, they'll serve almost like appears to be almost a whole head for one person.
Yes, I should.
So
this is not for one
tell
person.
Me about this.
This is not for one person.
No.
But so this is a great vegan dish. Sometimes you're hosting people, you don't know what to make for them. Butternut squash stew is another great one with the garbanzo beans. But what I have on the bottom is quinoa, and I actually did spice it up with the baharat. So I took boiling water, and once it took water, brought it to a boil, I added the baharat spice to flavor the water. And that's one of the things I love sharing with people, is you can use spices and incorporate it into all aspects of your dish. So using it as a flavor agent, you're creating a broth. But it's just spices. So most of my blends are salt-free, so you can add your own salt to it. Obviously, no sugar, no caking agents, and whatnot. And so I cooked the quinoa like so, and then I roasted some vegetables, and this was just what I had in my fridge today. So this is what I made for you. These were the leftovers from Super Bowl this weekend.
Well, thank you.
I know, I want to bring you some. And then I had some roasted bell peppers and tomatoes, so I threw those in. And then and I sprinkled some roasted vegetable seasoning on those. It's a great all-purpose blend. And for anybody listening out there, the products are available on Amazon, and I have lots of recipes on the website that you can refer to. So I don't want to just leave everybody high and dry. I really want to make sure you can go to spiceandleaf.com and grab that.
And I'll leave some links for sure at the bottom of the podcast.
Awesome.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So for the whole cauliflower, you take boiling water. They always say never watch a pot boil. This one you want to watch. You don't want to leave the kitchen because I add 3 tablespoons of shawarma seasoning blend to this, it's got a lot of turmeric in there, so you get that beautiful yellow color. And you boil it first in the water with some garlic and salt for about 10 minutes so that the whole cauliflower is cooked. But if you don't watch your pot, if it bubbles over, you're going to get a hot yellow mess on your stove, and you do not want that. I've been there. I've tried to multitask a little bit too much.
Yeah, been there, done that.
So then you'll take this out, let it drain, and so that all the liquid releases, and turn up your oven to about 450 degrees and let it roast. And that's where you get all this nice, yummy crispiness. I made a little bit of tahini sauce. So I took tahini butter, which is just ground up sesame seeds. You can get it in pretty much everywhere these days. It's pretty accessible. And I added a little bit of water, lemon juice, garlic, and the more water you add, the looser the tahini will become. When tahini is a paste, it's like peanut butter. It's got the consistency of peanut butter. It's a healthy fat. And so the more water you add to it, the looser it will become. And I drizzled that over on top. And then I put some hummus and tahini seasoning on top. So it looks like a very composed dish. And I'm going to just grab my knife so you can see what it looks like on the inside, because it's pretty cool when you cut it open, because you can see the colors of it.
I think it just makes it more fun for kids to eat too, when they see something different and it's colorful, and it's almost like you're cutting this miniature tree.
They can cut their own. So, it's flavorful. This one does take a little bit more work, because you've basically got 4 components to it. You've got the quinoa, the roasted vegetables, cauliflower part 1, cauliflower part 2, and the tahini sauce. Yeah. But, for a special occasion, this is a great dish.